So I'm at the exploit database again, and I just want to talk about different types of exploits. There are a number of types of exploits. We've got vulnerabilities that we had talked about before, which are weaknesses in either software or configuration, and exploits trigger those vulnerabilities to do something bad, whether it's getting you access to a system or triggering a denial of service or something else. So we've got different categories of exploits that are available at the exploit database. Remote exploits are things that you would throw at another system across the network. You are remote from that system when you trigger the vulnerability and use your exploit. Now, we've also got web application exploits. These are also remote, typically, in that you would be gaining access to a web server where the application lives, but they are targeted very specifically at web applications, whether it's PHP or Java or .NET or whatever the application is written in. You are using web technologies over HTTP, and maybe you're doing Ajax or something like that to get access to this web application and exploit it. There are also local and privilege escalation exploits. If you are logged into the system, you are doing a local exploit. If you don't have administrative privileges and you want to get administrative privileges, you need to do a privilege escalation. So you are escalating the level of privileges that you have on the system that you are on. Now, in order to do a privilege escalation, you already have to be logged in. This isn't something that you can do remotely, other than you could do a remote exploit, get into an unprivileged user account, and then trigger a privilege escalation. There are also denial of service attacks. So, a denial of service is anything that's going to make a service unavailable to another user. If you can crash the service and take it offline, you have just done a denial of service because it means nobody else can get to that application anymore because it's down. There are shellcode archives here as well. Shellcode is binary code that is used to actually plug into memory so that you can alter the way that the program works. And it's called shellcode typically because you're going to pop open a shell. So you can see this one is going to execute bin sh, and that is going to get you a shell on a Linux system. So also here they've got archived security papers that may be useful to you. Those are not exploits, but this is a pretty comprehensive site in terms of what it provides to people who are doing security testing work. Exploit Database is a great site. We've talked about it before. And you can see that they've got categories of exploits that are available. So keep in mind they're remote exploits, web application exploits, local and privilege escalation exploits, and then denial of service exploits. And they've kind of lumped in proof of concept exploits as well.